Do you know what's a really peculiar, unique feeling? Pretty unique even for me with my fucked up life. Not a fucked up life, but a fucked up pattern of life. The series of things that happen that just never seem normal. And I owe myself a quarter every time I use the word normal, because there's no such thing. But what I'm getting at, what I'm trying to say, is just how strange it is to, in the space of one day, the span of one day, to have a situation where you're like demoted and promoted at the same time. Which means my former job made it pretty clear, through very nefarious means, very dishonest means, that I wasn't wanted, that there was a lot of subterfuge going on that was being overlooked, and the powers that be didn't seem to have any vested interest in rallying for me, because I'm apparently very disposable in the company. But conversely, another place in the company wanted me badly and welcomed me. And I have a place of value here, and so I consider it a promotion. But the whole reason I have this job is like because the other one ended. And I know that shouldn't matter to me because, what ends well, how's the saying go? All's well that ends well. And the proof is in the pudding. And, when God opens a door, he shuts a window, or opens a window and he shuts a door, or shoves you out the window or something. But I have a friend who keeps saying, like, this is such a win for you, Lisa. This is Lisa 2, company 0. Like I won something. But I still feel angry, humiliated. I have a profound sense of injustice being done. And again, it's not that I want to go back there, because it was a terrible, toxic, hostile situation full of harassment of all kinds. And I don't get that in my current position. It's actually like falling into a tub of butter, as they say. It's perfection. I know the light just keeps going off and on. I'm only lit up by the TV at this point. So I'm a floating head in the darkness. So again, it's not that I'm not happy with my situation right now, but it's tainted by the situation I just left, which wasn't a quitting and it wasn't a firing. It was an edging out. It was suddenly a great diminishment of hours and lies and deflection and diversion and not answering my questions, and then gaslighting me by pretending they were answering my questions. And I'm not stupid. You can't lie to me because I can smell bullshit 20 miles away. And this was a person I really thought was a trusted friend. Like, this was one of those situations where if you could pick the last person you would think of to betray you, and then they're the one, and you're just like staggered. Your mind just kind of bends. So, my biggest fear was that I was going to not have that as a means of supporting myself, and then I was just going to be left adrift. And so that's not really the case right now. But there's still no permanent job security. And, I'm too old for this shit. I'm too old to not have job security with the amount of skill set I have. And I mentioned that in the powwow today, that I'm nobody's fool. I'm 54 years old and I have 20 years in this field. And some of the pettiness that goes on, and the cliquey grade school slacker, and then, people like that, when they feel like your work ethic is exposing their lack of it, they actually twist the whole thing around and they start acting like I'm the one guilty of what they're doing, meaning the gossip, the slacking. I had to really bite the inside of my mouth today to just remain steady and mature and communicative. I wanted to hear them out, and I wanted them to hear me out. And for the most part, it happened, but I still feel very patronized and just swept off to the side. When for the past 7 months I've been told again and again and again what a hard worker I am, what an asset to the company, how much the residents love me, that I'm such a good pinch hitter when other people wouldn't come to work. And, I had that one situation where I didn't come in because I was ill, and I was what they call a no call, no show, which is bad in any job. But for that one thing, which I apologized for and made right, you know what I mean? I made my amends, and nothing else happened after then. But to be told that that's what was set the ball rolling, uh, you know, the person who was the manager of the house said something to the effect of, "Oh, well, after that is when everyone saw this change in you." And I'm thinking, fuck yeah, you saw a positive change. Because I didn't call out, I wasn't late, I worked hard, I was the one picking up the slack for other people. And then something else happened, very egregious to me, that dovetailed with all of this within like the same week, pretty much. And it's a separate issue, but yet it looks like it's retaliatory. And the problem with all of this workplace politics is that nothing is really like proven. A lot of it is hearsay, a lot of it is people using their clout to push their own agenda. And because I'm low man on the totem pole, it's almost like I don't really, have any say in it. And it was just really hurtful to have people talking out of both sides of their mouth like, well, the benefit of your position is that you don't have to be placed in a certain house, and nobody has to keep you there. But conversely, you don't have to be anywhere you don't want to be either. So they were making it seem like I didn't want to be there, and therefore, like they were doing me a favor. But actually, I was a hard worker there, and I was succumbed to my fate of being there because with COVID, people in my tier of the company can't just move around from house to house. This probably isn't making any sense, and I'm just recording it, so I'm speaking like for the record. I mean, it's off the record, and you guys don't even know what I'm talking about, but I just needed to say it out loud to get it off my chest and have a record of it or something while it's all still fresh in my mind. Because I'm happy and very pissed off at the same time, which is kind of a weird amalgam of emotions. Um, my current job is more peaceful. People are more mature. They get along better. There seems to be more respect and more communication. And all of that was just completely nil in the other place. So it's like I'm happy to be away from that toxicity, but I cannot stand the way it all came about. Because I was misled, I was deceived, I was lied to. And when people treat you that way, it's really extra disrespectful because it means that they assume you're stupid. And I'm not stupid. I knew something was up. That very night, I looked at the schedule, and suddenly there was no openings for me, which they have a right to do, even though it's a shitty thing to do, because I'm not actually staffed. I'm a floater, as it were. Nobody has to give me any hours, but meanwhile, I was there, faithfully executing my duties, full time, and then some. And usually, most of the shifts nobody else wanted. And just to get no credit for that, or to get, like, what do they call it? Lip service credit? If I had a dime for every text I got saying, "Oh, you're so great. Oh, you're awesome. Oh, you're the best. Oh, thank you for pitching in. Oh, what would we do without you?" Like all this bullshit. And it's not, I'm not inventing this. This is text messages, which I always save. And then being told that, like, I had been talked to, that whole, like, verbal warning thing. And that's not even true. I was never talked to about these allegations. And I started getting really heated because I was trying to just listen and listen to their side of things. And I kept trying to say, well, what was said about me? Like, what is this accusation? What is this reason I'm no longer wanted there? I couldn't get any direct answer. You know, I'm being accused of things, but nobody would tell me exactly what or from whom. And then when I started naming names, it was like, oh no, it's not him. Oh no, it's not her. Oh no, it's not that. It's not this. It's just, it was the most frustrating 2 hours of my life. And it culminated with, well, it's good though. Moving forward, we can learn from this, and now you know how to handle things better moving forward. Fucking hate that modern ass phrase. And they didn't put me in this new position. I actually sort of found it, and they found me. And my point is that there's just no loyalty. There's no sense of we need to keep the employees content and respected so that they in turn can treat the people that we serve well, which has always been upmost in my mind. And I even pointed out to these powers that be today that when there's all these schisms within coworkers, it's the residents who suffer ultimately. And that bothers me a lot because I take my job seriously. And I really don't give a shit who likes me or not. Because I'm the type of person that, statistically in my jobs, people tend to not like for no reason or like a lot. It's like there's no middle ground. People either decide I'm going to be their friend and ally, or they hate me because I've been told I'm intimidating, or they just have this whole seniority complex and they think that my standing in the company is not as important as theirs, even though most of the time I work harder. So when I heard the words slacking off today, or not checking off task lists, when I know, as sure as I'm sitting here, that very, very many other people don't. And she knows it too. That's the thing, is like, don't bullshit a bullshitter. Everybody knows what goes on in that place. And the laziness and the deceit and the gossip. And suddenly I became the whipping boy for all of that today. And they couldn't even keep the stories straight. When I first found out I was off the schedule, I texted my manager that very night and I said, what gives? What is going on? I feel like something's changed around here. And it was like, oh, no, we're just fully staffed and you'll have to talk to your scheduling manager. And I got just shoved off to this other department. I'm just venting here. I don't know. I might even delete it. It doesn't matter. Right now, it just doesn't matter because I have a right to feel like I feel and to say what I want. And I'm not naming names. And I'm not naming the company. For all I know, a certain someone is watching me. And I'm going to be lodging a complaint very soon about something else that happened. And I was going to try to be the bigger person and not bring it up. I just wanted everything to go away. But that's not how it works. In the age of Me Too and everything. In the age of victimizing women. And I'm just tired of it. So, tomorrow when I have some time, I'm going to write out exactly what happened. And I'm going to direct that letter or email or both to the right parties. And if I need to get a lawyer, I will. Because there's no reason I should have to worry about my livelihood in any way, shape, or form at this stage in my life. So that's all I have to say about that. I just wanted to share about how weird it is to be in a good situation, but only because another situation was really bad. I don't want to be there, but at the same time, it hurts to not be wanted. It's fucked up. It's like knowing your marriage is terrible, but yet you still feel sad when it's over because it failed. But yet you knew you had to get out and get onto something better, and you shouldn't care what that shitty ass person thinks of you anymore because at least you're free. But you feel bad that you're still rejected. That's the best analogy I could come up with. But the analogy that was told to me today was like Cinderella's looking for her slipper that fits. don't give me a fairy tale. Like, you know, I was so short fucking shrifted in that position, not even included in the company's secret Santa, not even given a raise when everyone else got one. It's already a difficult and challenging job. It's very rewarding, but it's low pay, it's long hours, and it's sometimes backbreaking. And for me, of all people, to be called a slacker, you guys know how much I work. All I ever talk about is how much I work. I've worked at times 70 hours a week, going around to all different houses where you have to get used to the people and the staff and where everything is. And you got to read everybody's plan of care and sign off on all the different books and figure out, the way they all need their food prepared, you know, what maladies they have, what limitations they have, who needs what kind of diet, who needs Hoyer lifts and wheelchairs and walkers and prosthetics and showers, and it's medical care. And they never even told me when the COVID vaccine was available to me. Everyone else in the house got it, but not me because I wasn't considered staff, because I'm a per diem. But in the age of the pandemic, there's really no such thing as that kind of classification because we were all in the same house. I was in that house since late April or early May. And that's a long time to give your blood, sweat, and tears. At least there was no COVID there. So now I'm in a much better place, much more my pace, and with better people that I get along with. So that's a win. I mean, that's a very big win, and I'm trying to be very grateful about it. But I'm just so aggravated about that conference today. And it's not over. They haven't heard the last from me because this kind of stuff is hostile and it's not conducive to good care of people. And I'm sick of being maligned as a whistleblower when all I want is the truth and I want things to be done the right way. And if I see abuse and neglect or harassment going on, I will report it. And there's all kinds of laws about no retaliation for whistleblowers, but if they have a right to take you off the schedule or reduce your hours, that's their way of getting back at you. And this time it was done preemptively. And when I brought up the real issue, I got this whole gasping, pearl-clutching thing like, oh no, what are you talking about? Oh, we never heard that about so-and-so. And I said, well, this is why women don't report things right away. Because it becomes he said, she said. And it becomes, well, why did you wait so long? The reason women wait so long is because we know that half the time we aren't even believed. Look how long it took for Harvey Weinstein to get convicted, and Bill Cosby, and everybody else who's a fucking pervert to their subordinates. And it's wrong. And I know how to write a really damn good letter. And I'm going to do nothing but state the facts. Moment by moment, word by word. And we'll see what happens. Alright, that was a whole lot of nothing. I don't even know how long that was. Let's see. Almost 19 minutes of my bitching. I'm sorry if it's confusing. I'd love it if some of you guys would tell me what you would do if you were ever in a similar situation with a hostile workplace that you're not really quitting and you're not really being fired. You're just being like smoked out and people are lying about you. And I can never tell if I'm more hurt or angry or if it's just an equal measure of both. But it's their loss and I am better off without them, and I still have a job in a much better place. So that's it for now. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for listening to me. And we're going into the weekend, but it doesn't really mean that much for me because I'm still working. And that's it. Peace out, guys.